Hello, welcome to Prequel, Sequel, Requel, show where we pick a film or a franchise and give it a prequel, a sequel, and a requel with a panel of movie-going comedians, I guess we'll call them. I'm going to call them something else, but I better not. If you join us on Facebook, welcome to the show. You might have been here before, but we'll deal with that in a second. First of all, let's get our panel straight in this evening. We're doing The Last Starfighter, 80s classic sci-fi adventure. So let's bring our first panelist in. You know him every week now. He's here every time. It's Eddie French.
Hello. You all right?
I'm all right. Are you?
Yeah,
I'm not
good,
too
mate.
bad.
How are you?
I'm all right. I botched the intro a little bit, but you know.
Oh, I thought it was good.
No, you're just saying that, but thank you.
No, of course it was good. Yeah, well done, you. How's your week?
It's been all right, yeah. Not too bad, yeah. Just just sat there waiting for this. That's all I do all week.
You do just sit in front of that curtain, just tapping down the hours. If people saw all the other walls, they're just all tally marks from the hours being just crossed off as you go through your week. But yeah,
that's right. Yeah,
it's just to make sure you're on time.
Yeah, I wait.
It's good, man.
Right, let's get our next panelist in. She's a regular as well, not irregular. She's a regular here. It's none other than your friend and mine. Maybe she's not your friend. I don't know you. It's Natalie Smeaton.
Hello. That was a better intro. That wasn't shit.
It wasn't. It was just all over the place. I mean, I'm all over the place tonight.
Are you all right today, Chris?
I'm excited about the film again. It's The Last Starfighter. It's a classic, this one. It's really good fun.
You know you love it, don't you? But I'm going to admit, literally, until you told us what we were doing this week, I had never heard of it. Shame burns my cheeks.
Well, sometimes you do miss films. You know, I'd never seen The Lost Boys before until we did the episode.
I can't believe you've never seen The Lost Boys before, but it was good, wasn't it?
Exactly. Yeah, it was great. Yeah, it was great. Yeah. Just never got around to watch it. Anyway, we always have a special guest. Actually, sorry now. How's your week been? Oh, we ain't got time. You know? We got a special guest. Right. He's a friend of ours. He's a resident of Blackpool, I believe. Ooh. And he's I think he's the co-owner, if I'm not mistaken, of a very popular channel on YouTube called Mooch TV. It's none other than Dave Hughes. There he is.
Woo!
Oh, hello. Hiya.
Hello, Dave.
I'll correct you there. It's the owner.
The owner. I thought you owned it with Chris, or was that?
I kind of brought him on board, and he kind of, to be fair, he got me off my arse saying, let's do something. Yeah, go on then. But he's busy with real life now.
Right. Okay.
He's got a family with 3 children, and he's left me the burden of this. I'm the
owner. The owner of Mooch TV. It's a big responsibility to be the sole owner.
Well, this is it. And here I am in Blackpool, ground zero of Britain, where we're the only ones unaffected. We can walk about as much as we want, cough on anybody as much as we want.
Lick each other.
We can do that. Everybody's a nice lolly here. It's paradise here. Get me out of here now.
Come to Blackpool, everyone's a nice lolly.
I forgot that everybody's all right there. Yeah, you're fine.
Yeah, for some reason, we're immune. Yeah.
I've been to Blackpool, God knows how.
Yeah, of all the places in the UK that you could put a pin in it and go, this will be all right. I want to pick Blackpool.
Which one's the dirtiest? Oh, it's got to be that one. No. Apparently, the streets of piss somehow fumigate the air and we're fine.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I'd like the only environment that COVID-19 cannot survive in.
Clearly, Blackpool is too hard for COVID-19. You are harder than Blackpool. That's what it is.
Like in the middle of some volcano.
You are
scared.
Right, let's do some hellos. We've got some people in on Facebook already. Hello on Facebook. If you're watching, we've got Roberto, our friend.
How are you doing, man?
Bob showed the people into the man. Martin's here, but he's here tonight. How did the doctor visit go? Oh dear. Did he sort that rash?
Do you know what? This is exactly the kind of conversation private messages were made.
Although now I want to know about the rash.
That's a DM slide if ever I stole one.
I'm sure we'll find out about the rash as we go through. I'm sure that won't be the last we hear about it.
We get some Germaline on it, it'd be right.
Yeah, so Roberto and Martin coming every week, so they're regulars, so we'll deal with that. If you've not seen the show before, if you watched on Facebook, as we say, we're doing The Last Starfighter tonight. Our lovely panelists here will be giving me a prequel, a sequel, and a requel for the film. and we'll be voting. I'll explain that as we go, though. But first of all, before we do any of that, I'd like to give you a quick recap. If you've not seen the film before, I'm going to read you the back of the DVD box. This is how they sell it to you. Back in the day, they sold the film to you. Are you ready for this? Here we go. Millions of light years ago, a great frontier was constructed in the universe to protect the Star League of Planets from its enemy, the evil Kodan. But now a defector has given the key to the frontier to the Kodan, and starfighters from throughout the galaxy are needed to defend the peace. One recruiter, the alien scallywag Centauri, visits Earth and finds Alex, an 18-year-old with an extraordinary talent for video game wizardry. Alex is quickly propelled into the regions of outer space to fight a war to save the universe. I like how they call him the scallywag. That alien scallywag.
Little cheeky little scally.
The roustabout.
Yeah. So that's the basic plot of the film.
That alien cause a fuss.
Yeah, good film.
I like it goes, it's like about 10,000 years ago they were formed, and now we're here with the scallywag. What?
Not many people use the word scallywag anymore, do they either? They use it.
We're bringing it back.
Yeah, to pick it for the back of the DVD boxes, it's quite a weird choice, I think.
Yeah. Try and narrow it down, mate. We haven't got enough letters, right? Scallywag, do. Yeah, go on.
That's the classic one of this read. This is reading a bit boring. I'm gonna. Let's thesaurus that one. What's that one? Scallywag. 3 syllables. Brilliant. Yeah, whack that in.
They had a meeting about it. The DVD box meeting. Right then. Okay, we're gonna get straight on with it tonight. So
I'm excited.
Prequels. Here we go. We're gonna get straight on the prequels. First of all, up for their prequel is Eddie. So Eddie will do his minute pitch, then you two can ask him questions after he's done his pitch. Try and put him on the spot. So I'm going to put you a minute on the clock, Eddie. You ready for this?
Okay.
Prequel to Last Starfighter. Away you go.
So, G.I. Grig. This is a focus on Grig, obviously. He's everyone's favorite because he responds to everything like this. And which suggests some kind of respiratory issue that he's overcome. And we're going to see more of this in G.I. Grig. Grig is the top female officer in his division. He refuses all allowances made for him and demands to be taken seriously, just like all of the other people. He fights harder and he works harder than everybody else. He gets his head put in a bucket of water by Aragorn off of Lord of the Rings. And he sort of like looks in the mirror and he takes like a shaving brush and puts glue on his head and like puts hair all over it and makes himself the hairiest of all of them. And it's sort of really, really intense. And people are like, Grig, like he's going to do it. And then it finishes the same way as G.I. Jane that I took the premise from.
Right, okay. So, right then, Dave and Nat, you can ask Eddie any question you want now.
Good
to put him on the
Lord.
spot.
Yeah. I think the first question is why? No, it's actually quite.
Well,
no,
why have any film? It's
true.
I mean, you can't ask about art. You can't ask why it is.
No,
you
that's
can
true.
only say what it is.
Yeah. As a prequel, yeah, it's it smacks to me of a cross between The Devil Wears Prada and Jean de la Florette. It's yeah. Would you cast the original?
Oh, the original Greek.
The power of StreamYard and Zoom.
Oh, I know.
Yeah. Sorry. That was actually a conversation that humans understand now.
Yeah, it's anybody know who Norman Collier is?
Right, go on. Right. What were your question?
I think. Sorry. Was it about who I would cast as Grig, or if I would keep the original casting?
Yeah, would you? I mean, obviously the guy's passed away, but I mean, if we're in that time linear, would you have Dan or Hero, whoever he's called, or would you be?
I mean, Tom Holland's very good, isn't he?
He is good. Yeah,
he's very good. So, and he has got away so far without any heavy prosthetic work. So I'd like to see if he can still emote through the layers of whatever it is they use.
Well, he emotes through a Spider-Man mask pretty darn good.
Yeah, Eddie.
But he also does an equal amount, if not more, emoting without the mask. Because his Spider-Man really not that bothered about his secret identity, apparently. He just keeps whipping his mask off every 10 seconds.
Oh, the other films were worse for that. The Tobey Maguire one, he never kept his mask on. Come on.
Hey,
every 5 minutes.
You know this, Chris, and I will make it clear. I greatly prefer the Tom Holland films to the Tobey Maguire ones, and absolutely. But there is a healthy amount of mask whippage as well, know. So don't get all defensive. But
strong words.
Well, the entire film where he's got the scaly business going on, I'd like to see that.
Okay,
right? Because I think he could do it.
Yeah.
So I have a question.
Oh yes.
My question is: in G.I. Jane, they have to ring the bell if they want to quit. And she resists ringing the bell up until the very end, when then she goes and smashes the shit out of it with a baseball bat. I want to know what Greek has to smash the shit out of, and if he ever does, because it can't be a bell, because that's a human thing. So, what's the equivalent in your film?
Oh, well, that's a very good question. I imagine it would be some sort of intergalactic surrender fungus. So I reckon it would be
what does an intergalactic surrender fungus do, Eddie? I need more specifics.
I imagine it's a fungus, as it suggests, somewhere between plant and animal, and it would be dome shaped. So it would sort of resemble an Earth bell, kind of, but it would obviously be its own thing. And when struck, it would release spores, which would take away any pain that the individual who struck it would be in. So it would be like a mercy if they were in like a space judo hold or something like that, and they were in severe pain. They just go, "Oh, smash the thing," and "Oh, I feel all better." And people will go, "That is great shame, you massive space fanny." And so it would be some sort of space fungus.
Okay.
Right.
The space surrender fungus.
All right, we've Roberto just piped up. Dave is giving you a nickname. We warned you about this. I can't believe famous Australian here. Good day, mate. Hughesy. Kangaroo down under.
I'm not Australian.
Don't matter.
Fair enough.
Don't worry about it.
Mate. Don't worry about it. The cover. There we go. Bob.
Roberto's fully aware that you are not, but that will not keep him from his task of nicknaming everyone in the world.
He'll do. It's a nice one. I'll give him that.
He's found his calling. So.
Yeah.
Right, you've had your questions, so let's move on. It's Nat's turn, please. The last Starfighter prequel.
Okay.
Away you go.
So mine is also inspired by Greek. So Greek lives in a cave on his home planet and dreams of making it big. He decides to enter a new competition that's just started on his home planet called Starfighter, in which everyone is very excited. He enters with his talent, which is solving 3 separate Rubik's Cubes at once using his sexual appendages. And before he knows it, Shergel Walsh and Sharman Cowell have put him through to the judges' caves, and then the live shows. Greek, knowing this is his best chance for his big break, juggles knives with his genitals, also while singing a beautiful song called Me Splatten Friend Rig, which uncannily on Earth sounds exactly like My Heart Will Go On. But he wins, only to find out that rather than a record contract in a Christmas #1, he instead becomes a Starfighter's navigator, and that's what the whole competition was about in the first place. And there you go.
Right, okay.
If you just tuned in, we do speak English.
Eddie and Dave, have you got a question for Nat?
Where do I begin?
I would like to know how much time are we spending on the other auditions?
I would like them to be just like a montage. So like there's always like the first auditions, and then you see like the ones that take them through to the judges' caves, and then the ones that take them through to the live show, essentially. So I would like those sections to be montages, and not just of singing, but of all the other talents that they've got as well. But really, the story is focusing on Grieg and him thinking he's going to become famous, but in fact just becomes a Starfighter's navigator. So not even a starfighter.
No.
What sort of bullshit is that?
Is there going to be like a sort of a dance group who do something like Venusian Lives Matter, and some people get upset about it and stuff like that? They go, well, what about Martians and all that kind of wank, like that kind of thing. And presumably there'll be a couple of twats pretending to be a dog and an owner. That'll be one of them, I imagine.
And they trick the judges, and the judges get really proper upset about it.
Freaking brilliant.
They were. They're so convincing that they get buzzed off. Them ones.
Just the sheer embarrassment of the judges causes them to go, better front it out.
Yeah. Good. And then I think there's going to be like, one of those acrobat acts on where they do all the like dangerous swallowing of swords and like balancy jumpy things. Wearing very little clothing.
And then there'll be someone who doesn't look very glamorous, but it turns out can sing.
And then and they have the best music, and there's tears down Amanda Holden's face like that.
I think that's just WD-40 coming out of the out from the cogs.
She has no emotion, so I think that what she does is she has like puppies in a box, and then she just punches them and she steals their tears.
Yeah.
Allegedly.
I don't know. I've seen her reaction.
favorite word, Dave, on this show is allegedly.
Allegedly.
Where we use on this allegedly, I always say it.
I do like the fact that you've got all these alien judges and Amanda Holden.
Yes, because we all know she's not human.
Well, whenever they start a new one, they always send one of the original judges over, like in like Simon Cowell was on the US one for a while, wasn't he? So,
Well, as you know, we always kill one of the judges every season, so this year we got Amanda Holden.
And it was either going to be Amanda Holden or Sharon What's-Her-Face, who's married to that guy.
Sharon Osbourne.
You know what I mean? Sharon Osbourne, yeah. Because again, I'm not sure if she's real either, so.
She used to be.
Allegedly.
Would Greg be a diva in this film? Do you think he gets a bit too...
Yeah, his story arc would be fantastic, wouldn't it? For him to sort of start off dead humble and then get through to the live shows and make loads... Oh, hand in my face. Loads of enemies and really upset the judges. And then when he's winning at the end, he completely ignores his little brother, like in the original film. When he wins at the end... and hugs his girlfriend and then goes and gets in the ship.
I mean, this sounds like there's elements of A Star Is Born and What Happened to Baby Jane in this as well, which I'm all over,
I haven't seen.
I
haven't seen A Star Is Born, but I have seen and love What Happened to Baby Jane. That's great.
We've got confirmation from a roving reporter, Matt, in there.
Knew it.
Apparently,
thank you, Martin.
Cheers, Matt. Did you know what? We were unsure. We were worried we were on dubious legal ground there, but if it turns out to be true, then we're all good.
Right, cool. Okay, questions were answered, I guess.
Yep.
Roberto's piped up again. What's he saying? Shouty Sharon. No, I used to be her assistant before I became a chef. I accidentally set her house on fire and she punished me. I bet she did.
Sharon!
The bloody Italians set the bloody house on fire again. I don't know what's going on.
Okay, Ozzy. Ozzy.
I can't see anything. There's fires everywhere, man. It's fucking everywhere. I don't know what's going on with it.
Sweetheart, you're not material to be on this show.
Imagine that if Ozzy went on it. Just forgot he was already a famous singer. Just went on Britain's Got Talent.
I mean, that wouldn't surprise me, frankly.
Nothing. Anyway, right. Okay. Let's move on. Dave,
all right.
Your prequel to Last Starfighter. Are you ready for this?
I don't know if I can. I can't. How do I follow these two? Because theirs was great. Mine.
You what? Eddie nicked his off of G.I. Jane. Are you kidding me?
You know.
And you got yours off X Factor.
Like, how can you be worried about following them? Like, they were stolen.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's just that it's a bit sensible. Okay.
Just go for it. We'll see what happens. Go for it. Go for it. You'll be fine. You'll be fine.
Right, your clock on. Oh, don't time me.
I've got you. I've got the clock on. Yeah.
Good. All right then. The Emperor of the The Emperor of the Kodan, Armada, broadcasts his intentions of dominance of the galaxy. What was put? Several planets have also bent the knee, apart from the one planet, that of Rylos, which stand firm to protect the galaxy. The President assigns Greg, our friend, and Centauri to beef up the Star League. So while Centauri designs gun stars, Greg trains a new batch of volunteers who to become the first Starfighters. Title card!
Very good. Okay. Yeah, got it. Right.
Most of the story, Most of the I woke you up. Most of the focus is on a recruit called Niche and the President's son, Zoe, who get into a romance and adventures, but Greg suspects that Zoe has evil intentions and maybe in league with the Kodan. When a peace conference is attacked, Zoe reveals his betrayal, and him and Niche get into a fight, to which he kills Niche and escapes, and joins the Kodan. The film ends basically with Centauri issuing out the retrain. They got. I can't speak. You might notice the beginning of Starfighter. Oh my god! When they're all the Starfighters sitting there, there's an empty chair. Well, that belongs to Niche. It's a pretty.
Right.
Yeah, there's an empty chair. So basically, it ends with Centauri going around the universe, including Earth, to drop off some, whatever I put it, combat pods or booths, combat booths, i.e., video games.
Yeah.
And he stamps them with his nickname, Atari. The end.
Centauri Atari, I like that. Good. All right, very good. Okay, questions from Nat and Eddie then? Fire away.
Yeah, straight away. So Atari, stamped on the thing is Alan Sugar involved? Does he sue them, or is he a friend of Centauri and allows him to use the name?
Well, in this case, I think Centauri just gives some jewels to an entrepreneur Japanese guy. Says, right, okay, this is the thing. Maintain my machines, but you can, with the jewels, you can make your own game and software. Just do it. Just as long as you can, look after them, do what you want, because there's Space Invaders coming. I mean, Monsters Eating Ghost. I mean, you can use them.
Asteroids.
Yes. Asteroids are coming. Oh no, I mean, just maintain the machines. All right. Hoi. Right. And
you can do whatever you want. Frog or summer.
Yeah. Couple of ETs. Don't make that game. No. Oh, it's too late.
Hang on. Are you saying that the person who takes the jewels to the Japanese technology company bloke is essentially the Forrest Gump of video games? Accidentally invents everything in like second flat, and then just lets everyone else develop. Okay,
well, that's how they get the money off Centauri. Just said, we thought we had some funding. There you are, mate. There you go. Make this machine, make return. Frogger, all those gags off he goes.
Right.
Right. Cool. Okay.
Next question.
Next question. Yeah.
Yes. I mean, so we're actually having a woman in the prequel, which is an interesting move, because it is a very sort of male-heavy film.
Yeah.
What, a film from the 80s? Male-heavy? Never.
Yeah, I know.
She's Rylon.
No.
Yeah, I mean, she's got the prosthetics on. So.
Oh, well, yeah, obviously, but at least a nod towards some kind of female character. Or non-male character, just anything. So, what is this? Basically, does she have to do more training than the men? I'm just asking if it's going to be like G.I. Jane or not.
No, actually, she helps with the training. She's actually quite the professional. She, if anything, she's more of a teacher, but she sits in because she's that good. But yeah, she's one of those Ryla ones, ones with the big heads at the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
cool. So is it like she sort of mainly does training, but then when it comes down to it, goes, oh no, I've got to get back in the saddle for this one. Is it that kind of feel? Yeah.
Yeah, it's one of them. But you know, her heart's on the sleeve, and she looks out for all the other recruits who are a bit clumsy, you know, with the tentacles.
No. That's the classic bit of the teacher gets back in the cockpit, and that's when you know that's the one. This is on.
So obviously, yeah. So when she passes away, when she gets killed, obviously you feel for her. Then you feel the loss. And that's why I thought that chair in the last Starfighter, when it's empty, I think she was sat there.
Oh my God, Dave actually thought about this properly.
Yeah, I know.
Like he did a really nice.
Do. They really show us up for the rubes that we are.
To be fair, I only added it an hour ago. I watched it this morning. I went, "Why is an empty chair there?" I know.
Right, cool. Okay, it's time to do some recaps, and then we're going to have voting. So if you're watching along on Facebook, if you're playing along on there, you can vote. We've got some new people in actually. We got Nat, your niece, I believe.
Hey,
asking Roberta if she's okay. But then this gets a bit weird because Roberta's put, "Hello, how are you, kitten?" And then Dan's come in. Hello, Dan.
Oh, hi, Dan. How are you doing?
Is Roberto actually Marsha from Spaced?
God knows.
Right,
let's do this. Let's get the recaps done. Right, so here's your recaps for you voting in Facebook online. Eddie's was basically G.I. Jane, but it was G.I. Grig. Top officer, glues hair on, big underdog story, trains and probably wins the day at the end as well. Nat's was Grig or Grieg. What is it, Grieg or Grig?
Greg, I think. But yeah.
Got it.
Grieg piano concertos.
Yeah, Grieg, yeah. Lives in a cave at the start of it. He finds out there's a new competition called Starfighter. He goes on with his talent, 3 Rubik's Cubes he can play with his genitals. He gets through to the judges' caves, and his big finale is juggling knives with his genitals. He wins, but the winning thing is to be a Starfighter. No, not a Starfighter, a navigator, isn't it?
Navigator. Not even the prize, mate.
Not even a good prize. So why did he enter all that question? So Dave's was basically the Emperor of the Codan Armada, or whatever it's called. He does a broadcast. He says all planets, we're taking them all over. Loads of them bow to him. But then Rylos stands firm. Centauri and Grieg train the first load of Starfighters, hence the title, First Starfighters. And then let me get this right because I lost track here. Niche was that the name of the female?
Yeah.
Right. So that's why there's an empty seat, because this is her story basically, and she will get going out with the son of the Emperor. Is that right?
That's right. Yeah, Zoe.
Yeah, Zoe. Right. And then she gets killed, does she?
Yeah, I kind of got all tongue-tied with that, but yeah, I hadn't quite figured out. But they have kind of a one-on-one sort of. I couldn't decide if they were in each other's ships flying around, or they were doing like a episode 3 sort of face-off. Yeah. If you were my brother, I'm a girl. Oh yeah. You know what I mean.
Right. Okay. And then Centauri at the end drops off all the.
Get the high ground.
Centauri drops off the combat units and with his second name on them, Atari at the end. Right. Okay. Let's vote. So we get one vote in the room each. You can't vote for your own, and then vote online as well, and we'll have a look at these as well as we go. So
I'm going to vote for Dave.
It feels
Dave
right
gets
to
my
vote
vote.
for Dave,
yeah.
But I am going to vote for Natalie because I think it would be more fun. But I mean, Dave's is clearly the best idea, but I'm here for Natalie's idea, I think.
Thank you, Eddie.
Right, I'm going to vote for Dave's as well because I like the idea of the wordplay thing always comes in as well. You know, first Starfighter, last Starfighter. You know what I mean? I like all that business. You know what I mean?
The average Starfighter, the mean.
Yeah. Dave, who are you voting for?
I will have to go for Natalie's because I must admit I'm a sucker for reality shows, and I mean I like Eddie's like sort of the montage of G.R. Greg, although he lost me with the airbrush on his head. But when it comes to all judges,
yeah,
yeah, true.
So you're going for that.
In.
You're going for that.
But I must admit, all the alien judges and Amanda Holden, and going around on the chairs and that, like the voice. I just think, and obviously juggling knives with testicles is just well, you can't beat that. So
it is a talent.
So that gets my golden buzzer.
Yeah,
thank you.
Lovely. Okay, let's have a look. Votes from our Facebook watchers. Oh, what a surprise!
You sure? She has to say that because I helped.
Oh, hang on. Hang on, here we go as well. Look at this.
Thank you, Dan. I appreciate that vote.
And it's not over yet. Here we go.
Thank you, Martin. I also love you.
So, Nat's won that round. Nat's won the first round by
Roberto's votes.
Thank you.
Oh,
yeah,
sorry.
No vote from Roberto.
No, there is. It's here. See ya.
Dancing Australia. Thank you.
I almost voted for Cat, but it didn't. Oh, Dave, you got another vote there, look, from Roberto.
Yeah.
Well done.
Thanks, Bob. Thanks, Roberto.
Bobby S. Right then, okay, let's move on then. So Nat won that round. Let's give her a quick round of applause.
Thank you very much.
There you go. Quick one. Just very quick. We're going to move on to sequels. So same format again. Here we go for this one. Right, Nat, you're going to start this time, actually.
Okay.
Away
Here
you
we go. Maggie has become sick and tired of Alex and his Starfighter shit. He's hardly ever home, and when he is, he's distant and aloof. He says he's in love with the stars now and seems unusually close to Grieg, his navigator. Angry that she left her life back on Earth to be with him, she has a string of affairs with several betas and eventually decides to steal his fighter and go to a club. After a few drinks, she notices a handsome stranger at the bar, and they get talking. He brags that although her ship is good, his ship made the Kessel run in less than 12 parsecs. Even though she has no idea what a parsec is, she decides to follow the handsome stranger and his massive dog who has a gun and learns that and leaves Alex for the life of adventure. Eventually, she was eaten by the Sarlacc, but she was drunk and shouting, "Fuck you all!" as she went down his gullet. It's the way she wanted to go. And that is my sequel.
Very good. Okay, right, cool. Okay, questions? Dave and Eddie, fire away.
It sounds sexy.
Yeah.
That's not a question, is it?
No.
And in true 80s movie style, and because the original one is made in the 80s, I will honour this. She will obviously be a bit of a helpless maiden damsel in distress, probably wear very tight or little to no clothing, especially when she's been eaten by the Sarlacc, and generally be a little bit goofy. So yes, she will be quite sexy.
Clothes first.
Right. Yes, he'll eat most of her clothes and sort of leave the rest in
Requel Welsh kind of. Yeah.
I've got a question for you. I don't usually have a question, but I've got one.
Will it be the special edition Sarlacc pit, or will it be the original one?
I have no idea what either of them means, so I'm just going to say special edition.
You have lost my vote. You have lost my vote.
Yeah, then he goes in and it will come out that way. You see, in the special edition one, it came out round. And it was really quite elementary.
It had a beak in the special edition one.
Oh yeah, we'll go with the beak.
It's supposed to look like a vagina.
And I don't need to tell you that clothing wouldn't pass through it very easily.
It's Greg.
Right, okay. Dave, you got a question?
My only question was, did he actually watch the film, or did he just read the blurb off the box and think, I'll just marry it with Solo on 9 to 5. That'll get away with it.
I watched it, and I was watching Maggie all the way through it, being like, I'm too scared to leave the trailer park. Him being all like, oh, it's dead easy. Look at me, I'm in space now. And I just thought, no, I'm going to give her own like story. But I'm going to make her really resent him for dragging her off into space and then dumping her, basically. They're only young.
Do you know they actually cut? Do you know they cut a bit out of the film in the original screening as they get on the lift at the end and they're going up? She goes, "Hey, maybe I could be a Starfighter too." And he goes, "What?"
And then pushes her off.
Yeah, they cut it out, and they were like, "Oh my god."
He sets her on fire and exiled her from the
peas on her.
Yeah. It's the 80s.
As he's falling.
The 80s, what are you talking about? That's what he said.
And then Dolly Parton and two of her mates come along and tie him up in an office.
Yeah.
Because they've had just about enough of that kind of crap. Yeah.
Right, have we done the questions? I can't keep track of what's going on. I'm still thinking about the Sarlacc pit.
No, I haven't. So she's sort of she goes off joyriding and then hooks up with this. I mean, he sounds like
this
a
handsome
sort of
stranger.
space pirate, really. And so, does she get? Do they do any jobs while does she go into business with him and the dog? Or
imagine it being the 80s. He will be attempting to do jobs, but she will just continue to get in his way, say the wrong thing, upset the wrong people, get him into fights. That sort of laughable, goofy, lovable thing that ladies in 80s films do, until eventually he probably is the one that pushes her into the Sarlacc's mouth, I would imagine.
She's sort of going around going, hey, my boyfriend's a big-time smuggler and he's got loads of smuggled goods on his ship, the Millennium Falcon, right now. Actually,
Yeah.
do as I say. And he's like, oh dear, fell in the Sarlacc.
But like he will still put up with it, like for some reason Indiana Jones did with the blonde woman from the second film, rather than just kick her to the curb until she gets eaten. Yeah.
Yeah.
How did he go from the first film to the second film and put up with her? Like, come on. Look at the first film.
She was tagging along for the ride, wasn't she?
Yeah. I'll give her tagging along.
He didn't pick her. He didn't pick her to go with him. It was just a certain set of circumstances made them end up together. That were all.
Pushed her out of the plane. They pushed her out of the plane.
He did. He just happened to be on an air. He actually gets tangled up. If you look at it closely, he actually just wanted to throw her out. He actually caught and he goes, oh, shit, I'm in it as well. I actually know how to, hang on, Shorty, I know how to fly the plane, really, but...
Just got to get rid of her.
Temple of Doom is set before Lost Ark, isn't it?
Yes. A year before, yeah. I didn't want to show that up.
Yeah, I don't know the order they're in.
I
just think if you've got a Marion, you stick with a Marion, don't you? You don't go with the blonde one.
We spent 20 minutes talking about the Sarlacc pit and Star Wars. Right, okay. Dave, it's your turn. Your sequel.
Right, okay then.
Here we go.
Right,
Come on.
okay.
Right, let's go.
So this one, I'll try and make this one quicker. This one is called I won't spoil it. I'll say it. So Alex Rogan is now the admiral of the Starfleet on Rivals. Yes, he's been made up, and she's there still. Well, forgot her name. Is it Maggie? Maggie. So she's there in a corner while he acts aloof. But Zara is now emperor of the Kordan Armada and vows revenge after being I can't read. After being defeated over nearly 40 years ago. After being mortally wounded by a surprise attack, that's another peace rally. It's always peace rallies. Alex hands the reins to his only son to become the next Starfighter. Title card. Unfortunately, his son turns out to be Josh Gad. Larriton shoes, pies are thrown, and the university said, that's it.
Okay.
That's it.
Right, okay, that's fine. Right, questions, Eddie and Nat?
Questions?
What pies? What pies do they throw in space?
Well, obviously they do it on a planet, so obviously they don't actually go in space and throw a pie because that'd be just.
I'm very disappointed to hear that, Dave.
I mean, we could in a special edition we could do it, but for now,
you honestly believe that your sequel warrants a special edition?
If it does well, I mean, obviously Josh Gad does put bums on seats. I don't know why, he just does. Yeah. So I'll go with apple or any of fruit-based pies.
Okay. Space apple, space fruit. Okay, that's fine. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. Alien fruit, of course. So smidgy pies. There you go.
Okay.
Right. Cool. Okay. Have you got a question, Eddie?
Where do you begin?
Yes. are we going to be utilizing Josh Gad's ability to sing?
I was hoping to save that for the requels because he gets recast. But yes, we can add an actual number in it. It just comes in a more awkward time of the film. Just as the poised to fight, it kicks off with a song. Really inappropriate, but it brings a tear to your eye, whether you're laughing or crying.
Can they do a dance fight in the song like in West Side Story?
There's a few toes being tapped.
Yeah.
But we're trying for this film. We're trying to get away from the fist pumping action because obviously it's inappropriate. But in the end credits, mid credits, there is the song done again. But this time it's got the full chorus and everybody's dancing and that. Absolutely spectacular glitter. I don't know why they do it. It's just distracting from the credits.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, the best bit of any film. I can't believe they're trying to entertain us during the writing.
Yeah, could they stop the credits for a minute and can we just focus? No, we haven't got time. It took it took 2 countries to make this film.
Right. Okay. Cool. Let's crack on then. Eddie, your sequel, please.
Yes. Zur is back. Yes, you're all shocked. Zur is back, and this time he has a wig and a new plan. The new plan is the exact same plan, but bigger. So for every one of his ships he had before, he has now got 5 of them, and they are a bit bigger, and they've got swear words written all over them just to really, really intimidate the opposing force. So in the time before Zero comes back, Alex and Grieg, they've rebuilt the Starfighters. They've been training. They've been getting people from all over the galaxy and saying, look, we just need to be ready in case Zero ever comes back, but this time they are ready. Mags has actually gone along with them, and she was trained. She's a natural, and she is the leader of the Night Witches, an all-female squadron who actually cut their engines and let themselves just drift all the way up behind the enemy, unleash a barrage of laser fire, kick their engines back on, and faster than lights shift out. So there's some proper cool cavalry stuff and all of that. And it's going to be called The Lastest Starfighter.
Right. Okay. Questions then, Nat and Dave?
I do. So at the end of the original film, The Last Starfighter, we see his little brother begin to play the game, which we know eventually will be the one that trains him up. Do we see his brother come back grown up as a Starfighter, or did he not make the grade?
It turns out his brother's just not very good at video games. No. Yes, but he's there. Well, it's sort of a subplot where Alex is like, I don't know, Grieg, I don't want to see my little brother go out there and get killed and it'd be my fault. And Grieg goes, and he goes, yeah, you're right, Grieg, you're right. And then that plot line gets dropped due to timing. But I'll put out a special edition that's bound to be requested.
Yeah, I'm satisfied. Thank you.
Cool.
I have 2 questions.
Oh!
Yes. Does he's go back to the brother again? Does he still have the Playboy magazines?
He actually,
it could be worth something these days. Well, I don't know if they're stuck together, but it's in the 80s.
Well, what he did was he obviously pasted some of his favorite ones on the inside of his locker because, get your girly pictures in there and stuff. But he took it a bit further and actually pasted them on the inside of his own cockpit, which means you couldn't actually.
I thought you were just going to say cock.
He just
pasted him on his cock. That's all he did.
You know what? I love this picture so much. I'm going to
paste it directly on to my shaft.
And it's one of those that folds out as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like in the movie where he's looking for a specific one in the movie, and he goes, "Was it May or March? March or May? I don't know."
Yeah.
He goes,
and obviously,
he's like, "Yeah."
And obviously, it's upside down to us, but the right way up to him. So people, you've got it upside down, and not to me. Oh, God, longer. Yeah.
Sounds like something you'd see in a police academy movie.
Oh, yeah,
No.
there we are. Oh,
No, we haven't got time for Police Academy chat tonight. We're already running behind schedule. Right. Okay. I'm going to end the Police Academy right there before it even starts. Even though number 5 is fantastic.
Second question about that wasn't Playboy related.
Oh, the other one was the Night Witches. Sounds very interesting. Do they also wear wigs?
They wear wigs.
You said you said at one point
Zer
she's
is back.
got a new...
Yeah.
Yeah, but obviously it could be it's a trend. They're showing off the Night Witches. Go, I want what that he's got. We'll all have one. We'll all you have blue, you have red.
Well, because we've got more species of alien now, we've got more species of creature. There'll be some which have hair or fur, and some which require wigs. So,
Look what's happening. Police Academy's siphoning in. No, not tonight.
If they don't have like a sort of a regimental wig, it's not like they have the same beret, but it's just a wig. It's up to the individual pilot to be as comfortable as they wish.
All right then.
Cool. Okay. Right then, it's voting time again. So if you're voting along on Facebook, now's your time. I'll give you a quick recap. Nats was basically Maggie's tired of Alex because he's close to Grieg now, or Grieg, whatever his fucking name is. Maggie's been having affairs with all the beaters in the galaxy, basically, because she's a tart. She goes to a bar and meets a stranger who's got his own fancy flying machine, and he's got his a Wookiee with him, so it's Han Solo, obviously. They fly off for a life of adventure, and then she gets her clothes taken by the salad pit, which then eats her.
Yeah.
Dave's was Alex is an admiral now. Basically, the Emperor's back in his Zer, and Alex hands the starfighting duties over to his son, who just turns out to be Josh Gad. Hilarious scrapes and funny things happen, and the universe is saved. About right, isn't it? Eddie's was Zer is back. He's got a wig and a plan. Same plan but bigger. Same plan but bigger. Maggie's trained up an all-female squadron that take it on. It's called the Lastest Starfighter.
It is.
Right, cool. Vote away in the room, and we'll have a look at those in a minute. We'll top those up. I'll give them a few seconds to do that. Vote in the room as well. I'm just trying to... I actually did have a pitch for this one. I actually wrote a thing.
Josh?
What?
For the Starfighter one. For Lost Starfighter.
What, prequel or sequel?
Do you want to tell us it?
I will, yeah. You can vote now. Yeah.
I'm going to vote for Eddie this time.
Oh,
Eddie, yeah.
Yeah, I liked that one. It's good, that one.
Yeah, I'm going to vote Nat again, I think. That was...
Thank you, Eddie.
Yeah.
I'm torn. I'm torn because Eddie has got a proper sequel going on there. But Natalie said aloof and dog with a gun. And with my mentality, I have to go with the dog with a gun. I pick Natalie.
I'm going to go for that as well. Just the Star Wars sign in it. We've got to go for that. Right. Okay. Let's have a look. Votes online, then, please. If anybody's voting. No, that was earlier, so that's not. Is anybody? Oh, here we go.
One vote in so far.
There we go. I vote.
Thank you, Roberto.
Kill me. You never have pitch. You just read back of. I'm not lazy. I'm most of the show.
Yeah, Lummy.
You son of a bitch. I'll do it. I've got my thing now. I'm going to give him his sequel right now. Then, right, you ready for this one, Roberto?
Chris, there's more votes coming in, darling.
It don't matter. Don't matter. We'll vote. No,
Chris.
Fuck it. We're in this.
No,
we're in it. Right, set 20 years later. This is called The Last Starfighter 2. Like Father, like Gunstar. Right. Alex and Maggie have a grown-up son called Grigor, named after Grieg. Right. A new enemy rises called the Camel Toes, who invade the frontier and imprison Alex and Maggie. Grigor has to quickly learn the ways of the Starfighter under the watchful eye of his godfather Centauri and save not only his parents but the whole frontier.
I loved it. I'm still voting for Eddie, but I loved it.
There you go, Roberto.
I'm queuing around the block again for that one. The Camel Toes, what's their crack?
Come on, Roberto, you tell him. Tell him, Roberto.
I'm only messing, Roberto.
Roberto, you tell him.
You brought the heat, Roberto, before look.
Thank
Right,
you, Martin.
that's gone on the vote there, Martin. Thank you. Have we got any more votes? Is that it? Oh, well, that was my only pitch. Don't you worry, Roberto. I won't. You did ask me for a pitch, though, Roberto. What do you want? You can't have best of, can't have best of both worlds, can you? Right, we got any more votes? No, that's it. Nat, you've won.
Thank you.
Hey!
That's the second round. I usually say at this point it's all still to play for, but it isn't because that's 1-2 rounds. But we'll carry on. We'll carry on anyway, though. We're going to go on to the requels. Right, Dave, you're up first for this one.
Right. Okay.
Are you ready for this?
Well, all right. Are you ready for this 5-minute feast?
Yep.
I'm ready for the 1 minute.
It'll be a lot of filler because I could just say I don't want a remake.
Right. Okay.
No, that's a perfectly valid position to take. Don't worry.
Yeah. We've all done that. We've all done that.
So this one isn't actually a film. It is one of those Netflix original series, a bit like Cobra Kai.
Mm.
And I call it Starfighter. I've took an R out. Basically, it's basically the film again, frame for frame, but this time it's got an African American cast with some Mexicans in there, a couple of songs, and it's directed by Tyler Perry, and that's as far as I got.
Right. Okay.
Questions?
Yeah, we can do questions now and fill it out for you a bit. Okay, fire away.
I mean, that was fairly comprehensive, to be honest. Can we have something more specific than just a sort of a vague racial similarity between the cast? Who were you thinking of for specific roles? We're looking for an African American Latinx.
Yeah,
cast.
I mean, for Greg, we could have what's he called? Him out of Jumanji, the little guy. I forgot his
Kevin
name.
Hart.
Yeah. Like, Greg, where are you
now?
Yeah,
He's hot.
Yeah, we'll have him.
Okay. I'm sure he'd be delighted.
As for like, I don't know. You could just cast any bugger, really.
Anyway.
How progressive.
Yeah, just go to uni college of acting and like, you'll do, you. No, you're white, you can go away. No, you with the scarf on, come over here. Put this hat on. There you go. That's why I said they just get nobodies to do it, and they just make the money.
Okay.
And I just roll in my bed grave thinking, why? That's why I don't want it made. I mean, I'll be the only person outside Netflix go, don't make it. Are you doing it?
Yeah. It's my idea. I am become death destroyer of worlds.
Yeah.
Right.
But obviously, that's why I made it a bad pitch. So they'll like go, we're not making that one. Really? I bet you do.
Oh, I bet they would. Yeah. Okay. Cool. Right. Let's. No more questions then, Dave.
No, I'm happy.
Okay. Eddie, it's your turn. Your requel,
Right.
please.
Yes. Well, it probably wouldn't be called Last Starfighter because what I'm doing is I'm going to sort of take the premise of what it is, which is a sort of Orson Scott Card style, who is good at this game can come and use those skills to save us. And I'm going to bring it up to date for the kids by stating that Angry Birds, so I told you it was up to date, Angry Birds was actually created by a medieval French magician who was asked by the French nation and the army to find expert trebuchet launchers. So they wanted catapult experts. So they thought, we'll go to the future. We'll train people to use the relative physics and what's going to happen once you've launched it, and use that to fight several medieval wars when the French controlled everything. Mm-hmm. So it's going to be two things that kids love, which is very old now phone apps and French medieval history.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay. Questions, Dave and Nat? Go for it.
I think it would work better if it was Flappy Bird.
Flappy Bird, yeah.
But that's not a question. Will Flappy Bird pop up in it?
That is legally a very, very difficult thing because obviously Flappy Bird was taken away, and then people with it on their iPads were selling their iPads for several £100, which was pretty wild. But I'm gonna say no because Angry Birds have already had a very successful film, so they can only want to improve on that by using the rights from the most memorable of all the 80s kids action films.
I cook Flappy Bird. I eat Flappy Birds for breakfast.
I take
I
it
want to know
suddenly...
if... oh, go on, Dave. Sorry. Go on.
Oh, no. It was crap anyway. Go on.
Okay. No, I was just following on the bird theme. If Flappy Bird's not in it, it's Big Bird from Sesame Street. Is there a place for him in this remake?
That's the film right there, Big Bird. You've got the wrong bird. Get Big Bird in.
Yeah.
I see.
Lost Starfighter starring Big Bird.
Yeah, he can't really fit in the cockpit.
No, I think what I think would be Big Bird would probably play the sort of valet to the king. Like if you put him in French medieval finery and sort of said, "Pardon me, my lord, the new trebuchet expert is here," and they go, "Oh, send him in," and then so because he'd make quite a good sort of busybody valet de chambre.
That was
I hate
good.
Big Bird.
What?
Ooh. Oh, come on now.
No, but it's a perfect. That's a perfect character. You've picked a perfect person. Well, I would say I'm not very good on
kidneys.
I'm not very good on my French history, but I suppose there'd be an evil cardinal in there. Could Snuffleupagus play him?
Well, he's sort of like
Big Bird.
like a sort of a Cardinal Richelieu from the Three Musketeers style guy. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
but still comes in goes, "Hey, bird."
Yeah. Well, that goes against Catholic doctrine, which makes you a heretic, I suppose. Yeah.
Have the entire cast of Sesame Street in him as well now.
But that's just it because the Cardinal then rushes off.
Sesame Street. Yeah, Sesame Street's had like hardly any films compared to the Muppets, and so maybe it'll get the kids to learn.
Because the Muppets is better and doesn't have Big Bird in it.
I mean, I do agree with you, Nat, but I like Big Bird just fine, but I prefer the Muppets. But as a cast, but you do get Super Grover, and you get Tally Monster, and you get the monster with two heads with the horns that go up and down. They're fun.
Yeah, right.
I mean, I'm liking this because I like you could have a scene in the peasant village where there's a guy with a blue head and a mustache, and Grover's like the waiter peasant. He says, "You're that," and he says, "Yes, I just want a bug sandwich." What? And you just play on that because obviously it's a sound effects guy. You have to watch it to know what I'm on about.
You have to watch it religiously to know what you're on about.
Yeah, watch the link we'll put below to say, "Oh, that's what he's on about." I'm with you. I'm not as old as you, mate.
Showing you.
What was today's letter?
F.
And the number trois. But you can have Grover showing you the difference between near and far, but in medieval French. I think it'd be really useful for children.
Kids
basically Latin or something like that. Wouldn't it?
Kids would lap that up, I'm sure.
Oh yeah.
Let's move on. I kill myself.
Sure.
And then somebody says, "Well, the gun stars in this." Oh yeah, let's get back to the plot.
Yeah.
No, I'm just thinking that basic premise. Yeah.
Okay, bird.
Nat, your Requel, please.
Blow me socks off.
All right, so I feel that we need a Sean Bean vehicle. That's what I'm feeling this evening. So mine is called The Last Pie Eater, and it's set in the generic North. A young man can only defeat the southern gentrified Jamie Oliver pucker pie by being able to consume 6 pie and chips and a battered sausage, and then be able to carry his drunk 26-year-old girlfriend to a taxi and not get her to throw up in it on the way home. When he passes that test, he can become the last pie eater and essentially take on Jamie Oliver and all of his southern chefs to stop them from flooding the north with their gentrified, vegan, foam-based pastry pies. That's my remake. Sorry,
just one
Ian.
question. Will he be having scraps with that?
Obviously.
Okay, fine then.
Obviously. Everyone knows that any northern man who turns down scraps is immediately dragged outside and burned. So this is Sean Bean. He's a man's man.
Will become the next scraps, yeah.
Exactly. And he's not going to die in this one. I want to see him survive to the end.
Apart from the coronary he has after his dinner.
That was going to be my question.
High cholesterol and
you
know, obesity, but he doesn't die at the end.
But what he does is he takes. I assume he's going to take it out, but he's going to have a pickled egg to have in the car on the way home, in just like a little, in a muffin case, like a little fairy cake case.
Yeah, and a battered sausage. There's going to be a battered sausage.
He'll have that on the dashboard as he's driving, and I'll nibble on that on the way home. And I go, and he'll make him burp, but he'll go, oh, that was actually a pretty nice burp.
And one of those burps that taste good. Oh, bastard, that tasted good. So he's going to say that a lot as well. Hey, bastard.
Pickled egg that eats twice.
So yeah, that's my reboot.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
Cool. Okay. Dave, did you have a question for Nat?
You kind of answered my questions, really. I was going to ask about does Sean B die in it? Does it take place in Sheffield? Does he have a pork sandwich?
Well,
does he have battered Flappy Bird?
I wanted to say in the generic north, because obviously everybody north and south of like Nottingham just assumes we're all just lumped into one grimy northern mining hole. So I didn't really want to put a place on it. I know we have our own internal squabbles about BAMs and BAPs and all that bullshit. And, you know, we can deal with that ourselves. For the south, we need to put on a united front so they know that we're hard bastards.
So this is the north where This Is England happened right next to Billy Elliot.
So yes,
sort of all
and
of
Bradstock
that from,
down the road.
Yeah,
full
from
Mondays
the Midlands
up in the
all to the north, just in like 2 square miles. Right.
Yeah,
I'm liking the fact that Alex Rogan in this is a coal miner who comes out, oh, this is a Starfighter. Oh, egg.
He is.
Yeah.
He is. Pie. Yeah. Yeah.
Right. Okay. Cool. I think it might be voting time then. Right then. So get voting online. I'll give you recaps. We had Dave's he didn't want a remake. He just wanted to make the worst Netflix film he could. Something to do with Tyler Perry and Kevin Hart. He had lined up for that, and then a cast of nobodies. So there you go. Eddie's was bang up to date with Angry Bird references. About French magician who trains people to be expert catapult users to fight in medieval wars. Okay, yeah.
I should have made it about Fall Guys. I'm an idiot.
Yeah. There you go. Nats was Sean Bean, basically called the Last Pie Eater. North versus Jamie Oliver and his army of chefs. And then there's something about Jamie Oliver's trying to flood the north with loads of baked
like gentrified southern pies. Yeah, made like Heston Blumenthal makes them like lavender foam in a scented bag. Come on.
All right.
Are they pies like it's just sort of just meat and gravy with just a disc of puff pastry on top?
Yeah. And they're deconstructed and they come on a sleigh or in a mini shopping trolley. Get over yourselves.
Yeah. Right. Okay. Let's vote. Okay. Vote online and we'll have a look at those in a sec. Get those in. I might have time to do my requel if you're not voting fast enough.
Well, because it's put me in the mood for a chippy tea, I'm going Nat again.
I'm struggling this one.
Why?
But just because he mentioned medieval French history, I'm going to go for Eddie for this one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I was, to be fair, Natalie, I mean, you won me before with Aloof and the Space Dog, but you lost me at Sean Bean.
Okay.
And I do like the idea of French history, but I have added Muppets in there. But that's my fault. But I will go with, please, Eddie.
Eddie's right. Okay. Did you say you're having them? You're having the Sesame Street gang in it, yours, Eddie, now?
Yeah, I'll put them in, sure.
Swung it for me then, all right. Yep, go on, I'll have that. That was the correct answer.
Fair, Nat knew exactly what she was doing when she put Han Solo in her.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Right. Let's...
Like, I don't want to think too hard, but I want Chris to vote for it. So
vote for Cat as my papa gave me a knife for my sister. To carve up flesh, not plant. I chase away Jim Elvin, all vegan chefs down. Blah, 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 blah.
Yes, Roberto. Thank you.
Well done.
I'll
Roberto.
chase him with you. I'm right by Roberto's side.
Was you meant to get a knife? It wasn't like your mum's like, you were supposed to give the Wonder Pets toy. Oh, shit.
Oh, wait a minute. We need another vote because it's neck and neck at the moment. We need another vote. While we're waiting for that voting, I've got mine. I want to do this.
Oh, my God, somebody else vote.
I spent a bit of time on this. Right. It's called The Last Starfighters mine. And it's a video games called Starfighters are freely available to download for all game platforms. Each game format is tailored to a specific function in the Star League. So you got tactical, you got your guns, you got your what do you call it? You know what I mean?
Navigation,
your lasers, navigation, all that, all that stuff, and used to recruit full Starfighter teams rather than just one of them. 20 teams are selected, but after a battle with the Code and Armada, only one team remains. It's up to them to save the day. They truly are the last Starfighters. There you go. Had a bit of a go.
That's legit, man.
Why are you suddenly wanting to I
just thought I would go because I like this film and I watched it and I thought I'm going to do one.
Chris hasn't had much on this week. He's just like, do you know what? They make fun of me every week. Do you know what? He began to feel like the Mark Owen of this whole thing. So he's like, do you know what? I'm going to do my own song now, actually. Yeah, I am.
Oh, the Gary Barlow.
Yeah.
The posh Spice. Do you know, I don't single every week.
So you got Dane Bowers over.
They say I don't actually sing. I'm going to show them this week by singing a song.
And she never did again. She just pretended to design clothes.
We've got no more votes, so it's neck and neck. Nat and Eddie, you've won that round together.
Oh, well done, Eddie.
Well done, Nat.
So that brings us to the end of the show this evening, unfortunately. I know.
Hey, you know what, right? To say that we started off taking about 40 minutes for the first round, we've not done bad to say we're only 7 minutes over.
I know we've picked up the pace at the end there.
And we've got two extra pitches tonight as well because Chris has joined in.
Yeah.
The overall winner tonight was Nat then, so let's give Nat a round of applause. There you go. Let's double check there's no more comments coming in. Thank you to you guys for watching on Facebook tonight, obviously. Roberto, Martin, and everybody else. I think everybody else is gone. Let's do some quick plugs. Dave, you got some plugs to do? Mooch TV, tell us where we can get everything on that.
Oh, Mooch TV, yes. If you want to subscribe and like any of my videos on Mooch TV, it's on YouTube, readily available, free. You can go on it anytime you want. Just put in Mooch TV onto Google. You'll find me. You'll see this potato face. Dead easy to find. And that's really about it. Just join. Please join. I want the subs. I want money. I want being paid.
You just went past, what is it, 2,500 subscribers this week? Yeah?
Well, I think it was 2,300, but let's think 2.5. That seems nice. And I'd like to thank Chris for doing a video this week, last week. Yes, it was his first proper. It was, we'll want more. We want more Michael Kay. We want more Kermit the Frog.
That's fine.
And, I'd love to do videos with all of you because you're all talented in all your little ways.
In spite of what you've been this evening.
Right, let's do a quick more plug. Nat, have you got anything to plug this week? No. One of these weeks, you're going to have something to plug. I know you are.
I'll hang out with you guys. I mean, find me on Facebook. I hang out with you guys anyway. Like
Roberto, add Nat on Facebook. Find Nat on Facebook, Roberto. Have a chat with her.
Yeah,
I just found Roberto actually.
One day, Nat's going to be like, "Yeah, I'm actually opening in the West End next week as the new Phantom." So I'm just going to be on a gondola for about 6 months.
Eddie, have you got anything to plug?
Nothing out of the ordinary. IC News and Fire Breathing Kittens, 2 podcasts you should listen to. The IC News is satirical, weekly, topical nonsense. Great fun. And the Fire Breathing Kittens is a 5th edition Dungeons and Dragons podcast, fun for all the family. You can get them wherever you get podcasts from, and they're free to listen to and very, very fun.
Cool, excellent. As always, discount comedy. Check out improv shows are online. There's a few shows on there that we've put full shows up for you to watch. We are going back to live gigging maybe soon if Boris Johnson doesn't shut us all down tomorrow. We'll see about that. We'll fight him in the street if he tries now. We're going to go out and have a scrap with him. Well, other than that, we'll be back next Monday. Next Monday night, we'll be back. Brand new film, 8 o'clock Monday night. Join us again. We'll see you. Thanks so much for joining us on Monday night here, 8 o'clock. We loved having you. We'll see you all again. Thank you.
you.
And good night.
Thank you.